Hello, 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 and welcome to Starting the Day the Right Way 5-minute devotion for February 10th, 2021. There we go. Almost took off a whole year. All right, so I just dropped my little guy off to school, and he was a little nervous this morning. This is his first week back, 5 days a week. And Sunday night, he was kind of excited because he was going to get to see some of his classmates that he hadn't met yet, and also that his best friend that he's been best friends with for a couple of years now, he was going to see because they were attending on opposite days. So Monday was good, Tuesday was good. Today, when we were in the car on the way, he's like, "Daddy, my stomach's really bothering me. I don't feel nauseous. It's just like really rumbling." I said, "All right." I said, "Well, you nervous about something?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "What are you nervous about?" He said, I don't want to go to school all day today, but I do want to go to school all day today." And I'm like, "Well, what do you mean?" He's like, "Well, I don't want to go to school because I want to stay home with you and mommy. And I do want to school because I do want to go to school because I want to see my best friend. So I think my nerves are rumbling." So we prayed over him and he felt okay. And right before we left, I said, we prayed another quick prayer. And he's like, "All right, Daddy." And he always takes a deep breath and then he goes. And then, I pull away and I get emotional. I'm like, "Oh my God, take care of him, please, please." I'm like, "God, he's yours anyway." So, but on the way home, I started thinking, and we've only been down in Carolina about a year and a half now. And God really moved us out of New York almost in the middle of the night, really, is really what happened. But it led me to Abraham, or Abram at the time, in Genesis. And I'm going to pick it up here from the New Living Translation. And it says this, chapter 12, verse 1. "The Lord had said to Abraham, 'Leave your native country, your relatives, and your father's family, and go to the land that I will show you. I will make you into a great nation. I will bless you and make you famous, and you will be a blessing to others. I will bless those who bless you and curse those who treat you with contempt. All the families on earth will be blessed through you.'" Verse 4 says, "And so Abram departed as the Lord had instructed." Okay, and Lot went with him. Picking up in verse 7. "Then the Lord appeared to Abram and said, 'I will give you this land to your descendants,' or 'I will give this land to your descendants.' And Abram built an altar there and dedicated it to the Lord who had appeared to him. After that, Abram traveled south and set up a camp in the hill country with Bethel to the west and Ai to the east. There he built another altar and dedicated it to the Lord, and he worshiped the Lord. And then Abram continued traveling south by stages towards the Negev." Verse 10, "At the time, a severe famine struck the land of Canaan, forcing Abram to go down to Egypt, where he lived as a foreigner." So, a lot of stuff in these verses, a couple of things, okay? Again, I see the immediate obedience of someone in the Bible, right? God gave Abram instruction, and he said, go to this land, and I'm going to bless you, and many people are going to come from in your line, in your lineage. And what did Abraham do? He didn't set up a game plan. He didn't sit around and talk it over, call a family meeting and say, "What are we going to do here? Is everybody in agreement?" No, he immediately obeyed and he left, right? Along the stages, as long as he was going, there were specific points in time where he stopped and praised God. And I think that's very important. We need to take a step back, okay, and acknowledge what God has blessed us with, number one, and brought us through, number two. Now we're coming up on a year that we've been going through this pandemic, and people are saying, "I can't wait to get back to normalcy, and we can't wait to get back to the way it used to be." Only God knows, and I'm certainly not going to pontificate on whether we are going to get back to that point. But how do we know that normal was where God wanted us to be? Maybe this had to come about, or not that God caused it, but God is going to use it to draw us nearer to him, to bring us closer to him, to open up our eyes to what is really in front of us, to open up our eyes for what God has really done. okay? But it's that unknown aspect. We never know, but we know who knows. We know the God who knows, okay? And then the other thing that stood out in these verses was verse 10, where an immediate famine broke out. So we get this word from God and he tells us to do something and we're all excited about it. And then we do it. And then what happens? Bam, right? Worst case scenario, whatever it is, whatever you can imagine. So here's Abraham, or Abram at the time, who God said to go, God, and Abram obeyed. And then what happened? A big, huge worldwide famine, worldwide at that time in that area. But what happened? God still used Abraham through that whole time. Okay, so understand this. Okay, and this was what I was trying to tell my son this morning. You know, most of the time, I'm not going to say 100% of the time, most of the time, when we're getting nervous about something or we're getting fearful about something, we're thinking worst case scenario. God's not thinking worst case scenario. God is seeing the people that we are going to become as a result from getting past this and coming through this with him by depending upon him. So understand, we may not know where we're going to end up. We may not know when this thing is going to end. We may not even know what's going to happen in the next 5 minutes of our lives. But we do know the person and the God who knows that. All right. I hope this was a blessing. Have a great day, and we'll be back tomorrow. God bless.